This journey started in the 60s, and I have fished from Alaska to Florida, hunted the Arctic for caribou, and combed the coastlines of Kodiak and the Aleutian Islands in search of meaning and purpose. These excursions exemplify a deeper understanding of success beyond that of just catching fish or bagging big game. They are about the chase and learning who you are. They are about exploring, appreciating, and respecting the vast expanses of our nation's forests, lakes, streams, rivers, and oceans, and finding our place in the universe. My name is Gene Quinney. These are my stories, this is my life, and these are my adventures. Well, the motor seemed to be running good. But just to be on the safe side, I will run upriver just till I know the motors are working good. I mean, I know they're running fine, but for my own self-confidence, I want to run upriver just in case I have a fuel problem again. So my plan this morning is to run down and try to catch a sturgeon. Now, you know what happened the last time I was down there, but I did bring some herring and I did bring some eggs. So I am going to do a little bit of bobber dogging, toss some spinners, and back troll some herring. We're going to do that a little further down in the deeper holes. Maybe try to catch a springer. I never know what I'm going to catch down here. I don't even know if I'm going to catch anything. Well, let me get ready to launch this thing. I have to get it right in the perfect position here. So I can get up on plane, make it out of the shallows. Okay, well, the motors are running excellent, man. I love it when a plan comes together. What's that from? That's from the A-Team. Okay, so yeah, both motors are running great. Fuel problem solved, new plugs, new oil. Yeah, okay, so I ran upriver, obviously to check to see if my motors are gonna run fine. They do. So I'm gonna bobber dog some eggs through this stretch here, and then when I get down close to my place, I'm gonna power up and head down and back troll some herring down there. So let me get some eggs ready for now. Problem is the eggs that I had out are old and disgusting. Had them in the fridge a little bit too long, I think, but I do have some fresh ones. Oh man. Don't those look beautiful? I just pulled them out of the freezer this morning. So they're frozen little nuggets. I'll just set out 4 or 5 like that. And I do have some herring here. This herring is cured in brine and bright. There we go. Look at them bad boys. This is my bobber dogging setup. Same one I've been using on all the other videos. I have two of them set up almost identically. This rod here is nothing fancy. I don't do anything fancy. All my stuff is just good enough for me. So this is the Okuma. It is a 9'6" medium action and a 6 pound to 12 pound test. I have it spooled up with 30 pound test Power Pro, and it's supposed to be high vis, but it's actually kind of wore out, so it's white. And then here's a double uni knot right there to 30 pound test Trilene big game, and I think the top shot is 10 feet, and I have my other bobber stopper, my top bobber stopper right here, set at about 6 feet. Then I have another bobber stopper down at the bottom here, a few inches from the snap swivel. Actually, it's a T swivel. So if I break off, I don't lose the weight. I don't lose the float, sorry. And then I've got a 3-foot, 12-pound test leader leading to a hook with an egg loop and a couple of corkies, just in case you lose your bait as you're floating down. Then you're always at least fishing something down there. So I'm gonna put a piece of bait on here, and then we're gonna get the motor started, and we're just gonna motor right across the river and start bobber dogging down this stretch right here. And I don't do anything fancy with hooking these bait up. I just put it through the loop and pull the egg down, pull the loop down around top of it. The line will eventually sink into the skein and it'll hold. It really feels nice having both motors running good. Now, this is pretty shallow in here still, and every once in a while you might bump bottom if you're not careful. There's some gravel bars that run that way in this area. Well, heck, I may as well start at the top, right? Let's start at the top up by the launch. I like it when it starts up at the first pull. I was just talking to my wife yesterday about buying a new motor. So electric start, you know, and tilt and all that. And I figured, you know, if it's running really good and it starts right away, if it starts the first pull, why would I need, you know, to spend the money and get a new motor? I just got to keep this one running properly, right? Okay. Now I'm just gonna make one drift through here, and then we're gonna go right down south. South? Downriver, I should say. Back troll some herring and some of those deeper holes. Last time I was down there, we hooked a sturgeon. You've seen that one. If you haven't checked out that video, check that one out. It's a 2-part video. It was a heck of a fight. I didn't land the sturgeon, but boy, let me tell you, I've been fishing, you know, my entire life on this river, and that was the first time I've actually hooked a sturgeon. Look how smooth that motor's running. Oh, it's smooth. You can't even hardly hear it. This tree here, this one right here, this came down last year, and it was dead. It appeared to be dead, but look at it. It's still growing. It's got new life on it. That is hilarious. Oh no, oh, there we go, okay. I thought I just messed myself up there. I went around that tree limb and luckily it came off. I keep myself pretty busy half the time with things I don't need to do. I could probably get away with not doing them, but I've always been that kind of a person where, no, come on, get off of there. Shoot, I hung on that rock shelf over there. Oh, that's gonna break. I'm gonna lose it. See it down there. I see it. Lost it. Okay, now that I retied, let's start right over where we left off. Okay. I've always been kind of a workaholic my entire life. Everything I've ever done, you know, no matter what job it was, I was always trying to be the best at it and always working. Always working. When I worked for Crowley Marine Services as a heavy equipment operator loading, we did longshoreman work, so with Oil, Chemical, and Atomic Workers Union. And so we loaded barges here in Seattle, and then we unloaded the barges up at Kotzebue at the Red Dog Mine. And so we were the only ones that could unload the barges up there. We'd load them in Seattle, unload them up at the Arctic Circle. The company would fly us up there, and then there was a group of us, you know, that were qualified enough to work the barge in the conditions that we had up there. And trust me, you know, we're unloading barges, you know, with 40 and 20-foot containers, you know, that are anywhere between 40 and 80,000 pounds a piece in stormy conditions, whiteout snowy conditions, you know, in 6 to 8 foot swells at the dock, you know, where you have the barge and the dock are doing this, and you've got to unload containers, you know, that are stacked 4 high, 20-foot containers that are stacked 4 high, 40,000 pounds a piece. Yeah, it's not just anybody can do that stuff. But I was one of them. I was fortunate enough to be part of that crew, and it was a lot of fun. But every chance I got, I was flying up to Alaska, loading barges here, flying up to Alaska. Whoa! Gotta watch out for these big boulders right here. Just gotta negotiate your way around them. Look at the size of that one right there. I came down here one year and I wasn't paying attention, and I drifted right over top of one of these. It might have been that one right there. And instead of shooting the seam and going in between them like I just did, I motored, and the boat hit the... See, there's a big rock right there, and there's a big boulder right there, and you got to go in between them or else your motor will hit. And I smashed into one of them one time. Thought I was going to break off my motor. It didn't. But yeah, I worked so much when I was with Crowley. Loading barges, flying up to Alaska, unloading barges. I worked so much overtime, you know, especially during the summer, because we'd have to load the barges in Seattle, and then we had to wait for the barges to get up there. It took about 6 weeks, and then we'd load other barges in the meantime, right? And then fly up there, unload them, fly back. And so I was working crazy hours, crazy hours. Oh, I thought that was a fish. Working so much, as a matter of fact, when my daughter was born and I'd come back from Alaska, she didn't even know who I was. It's actually one of the things I regret about working so much. You know, it's not having the time with her when she was growing up like I did with my boys when they were growing up. But I needed the money. I was a workaholic then. I'm kind of a workaholic now. But I am kind of trying to taper off a little bit. I know you probably think I'm crazy, you know, how can I be a workaholic when I'm fishing all the time? Well, you can be. I hope I don't get hung up on that big rock right there. See, I'm bobber dogging my eggs through all these giant boulders in here, hoping to pick something up that's resting in between. Once I get finished with this slot right here, right above these ripples, you can see them coming up back there. And we'll motor out around in the deeper water. I can't go over that with my kicker. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm out of eggs anyway, so that's perfect timing. Ow! That is a sharp hook. It's starting to rain, so I am gonna go put my waders and my rain gear on. Now it can rain all at once. So you know what happened the last time I was in this hole right here? I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I don't want the same outcome, although the outcome was pretty fun. If you watch that video, this is where I hooked that sturgeon. First of all, I need a cannonball. Find a fresh one. Oh yeah, look at that. This is granted, this is a little large. I bought these for the ocean, but I'm going to use them here. So that's what we have right there. Make sure that we're going to have the right length on our adjustable set. So let's go a little bit longer with our sliding rig. Okay, now let me show you how I do this. We want to, you can see how the jaw works. The lower jaw goes up inside the upper jaw. We want to pin those together by going through the side like this. That pins the mouth shut, and then put the hook through, turn it around, and go behind the eyeball. Just like that. And then this one here is just going to dangle behind it. Oop, spin it around in a circle here. And it just hangs there just like that. Because it spins so much that this second hook that's back there, it's going to be pulled up right next to the herring body anyway. So I don't want to damage the herring by putting the hook through the herring. And let me show you how well this thing spins. Now the first thing I'm going to do is drop it down right along this rock ledge that's right here. See if there's anything hiding just right below the boat. I just got bumped. Now I'm just going to bounce this, bounce this herring down there, letting it spin along this rock shelf, and then out here in this area here, and see if we can maybe pick up a fish. It's a really unusual spot on the river here. Hard to navigate, to be honest with you. Simply because there's so many different you got this shallow rock shelf here. Current pushes you upriver. That fast water is pushing you downriver. Very difficult spot to fish. So now we're going over top of another rock shelf here that's only like 2 feet off the surface. So you got to back up over the top of it. Oh, I just felt a hit. I don't know what it was. Small, whatever it was. And the trick is keeping it on the bottom, or close to the bottom, depending on what the current's doing. You can see how fast the water's moving on this side of the boat. And the rock shelf is right here. Oh, something's hitting it. Something was just on there, something small. There it is again, bumping it. Oh, can you believe that? Look at that. Tried to hit that herring. Way down there. But we're gonna let him go. He's coming up, you know, chasing that thing. And he's hitting it and getting caught because of that trailing hook. You want that trailing hook an inch or two hanging behind the tail for short strikes. Not really good at holding the rod in my left hand. It's kind of awkward. And it's not easy to catch a salmon or a steelhead from the river, as you can tell. I don't catch very many anymore. Not until the, you know, coho start to run, because there's just not that many fish up here. A lot of people chase the fish around like I used to. I used to chase, when I was younger, I used to chase the fish around. You know, the springers would be in the lower part of the river. I'd be down there. The coho would be in the lower part of the river. The springers would be down there. So I would follow them up the river and end up here. But I don't do that anymore. I just fish up here because it's convenient, easy. And sometimes there's just no fish up here. But I still like fishing for them. All right. Okay, well, that was a fun adventure. I never know if I'm going to catch any fish. Right now, there's just not that many fish up here, so it was a good trip anyway. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe to the channel, and those guys and ladies that watch the videos but don't subscribe. One of these days, there might be something that you enjoy watching, so maybe go ahead and subscribe and see how it works out for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, and you never know, I might see you on the water. Peace, love, and tight lines. If you liked this video, be sure to check out our other videos where you'll join us on the ocean catching kings and silver salmon, lakes catching kokanee trout and landlocked coho. We'll also be working our riverfront homestead and harvesting venison. Stay tuned for more fishing and hunting and outdoor adventure videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get notifications of new uploads. Thank you for watching.